Hello and welcome. We're excited to have you join us for today's Imagine America Foundation webinar featuring Universal Technical Institute, also known as UTI. I'm Bob Martin, President and CEO of the Imagine America Foundation. Whether you've worked with us before or you're just getting familiar with the foundation, we're here to share how we can help your students access high-quality, career-focused education and meaningful financial aid opportunities. The Imagine America Foundation was established in 1982 to promote access, affordability, and success in post-secondary career education. Since then, we've awarded over $180 million in scholarships and awards to more than 180,000 students across the country. Our programs, including the High School Scholarship Program, Adult Skills Education Program, or ASEP, and a Military Award Program, MAP, are designed specifically to support students pursuing high-quality, hands-on, career-ready training. Recently, we launched a new application portal that makes it even easier than ever for students to apply for scholarships. It's mobile-friendly, intuitive, and built with counselors in mind. You can create a profile, track student applications, and access resources all in one place. It's a much smoother experience for you and your students. To create your own account and unlock all that it offers, visit the website at www.imagine-america.org, click Login on the top right corner, and get started. Joining us today, Universal Technical Institute. UTI was founded in 1965 with a mission to provide hands-on training for careers in the automotive industry. Over the decades, UTI expanded its offerings to include diesel, motorcycle, marine, welding, heating and HVAC, and CNC machining programs, along with manufacturer-specific training partnerships. Today, UTI operates 16 campuses in 9 states, offering industry-aligned training that prepares students for high-quality, high-demand careers in skilled trades and technical fields. Why does this matter? As counselors, you're guiding students through some of the most important decisions they're ever going to make in their lives. For those who thrive in hands-on environments and want to avoid the burden of excessive student debt, UTI, paired with an Imagine America scholarship, can be a game changer. Now we're excited to introduce someone who works directly with students and counselors every day, Dr. Stephen Coyle, National Director of High School Development at UTI. Dr. Coyle brings years of experience helping students discover their potential and navigate the path towards skilled trades careers. He will walk you through what UTI offers, how students can get started, and how you, as counselors, can support them in making confident, informed decisions. At the end of this presentation, we're going to make special time for Q&A session to provide you with contact information so you can help your students get started as soon as possible. Dr. Coyle, thank you for being here today. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Bob, for that introduction, and welcome, everyone. I'm excited to get a new webinar season off and running. I put a picture of myself in my pants. I'm known for at ASCA. I thought you might recognize me better. Those of you that have been to ASCA, I've kind of known for my pants, so I thought I might show you that just a little bit on the picture. But anyway, I'm excited about this year's webinar. Kind of taking a little bit different approach. Before I get into it, though, real quickly, a little bit about UTI. I don't talk much about us, but a little bit. As Bob alluded to, we do have campuses nationwide. I'm excited to tell everyone that we have 3 new campuses coming on board here in the next year. We have a new campus that's going to be opening in Atlanta, Georgia. We have another campus that will be opening in San Antonio, Texas, and then a third campus annex type in Dallas-Fort Worth, because we ran out of room at our DFW campus, so we're adding a additional one there. We're also starting a new concept, you might say. We're going to start what we call skilled trades campuses, which will only have like welding, HVAC, those kind of programs. They won't have auto diesel there. So we're kind of exploring that just a little bit too. But anyway, that's where we are. And then of course, I always talk about our industry partners. We have over 30 industry partners that we work with. And I'm always talking about the school counselors about you need to get industry involved in your schools. Well, here's the industries that we use at our school. And these are the big dogs in the industry, the BMWs, the Fords, the Freightliner, these kind of companies. So this is who we train for. As I often say, we're not training our reps, our students to go into a mom and pop shop somewhere. We're training them to go into to work for these type of companies. So anyway, enough about UTI. As you know, if you've heard me before, I like to find things that can help you as school counselors. I understand what you do. I'm a retired teacher, coach, high school administrator, so I understand what you all go through. So I always try to find ways that I can help you. And I was a science teacher back in the day, and I always had kids all the time saying, "Oh gosh, coach, we're never going to use this again. Why do we have to know this?" And so I want to give you some things. I want to make it pertinent to you. These are things that hopefully that you can use with your students. As you saw on the title, talking about Gen Z students. These Gen Z students, these are your students. This is who you're working with. And aren't they wonderful? They're so patient and caring and understanding and like that. Yeah, I'm joking. They're not. Gen Z kids, they want it now. They want it right away. That's what they're looking for. And so, if you ask Gen Z students, what they want from a career, this is it. This is what they're looking for. They want something, they can get in and get out and get working. This group of kids has been labeled as being lazy. They're not motivated, that kind of thing. That nothing could be further from the truth. These kids are actually a resource for you. Think about it. If something goes wrong with your computer at school, do you call IT? Heck no, you grab one of your students and say, "Hey, would you fix this?" Because they can. But Gen Z, they're not looking for shortcuts. They're looking for smart cuts. I think that's a nice little clever way of putting it right there. They want smart cuts. All right. They want ways to succeed without drowning in debt or regretting their decision. I don't know how many people I've talked to that they're walking around with a bachelor's degree and they never even used it. Never, I had a lady in South Carolina. She was like that. She had a bachelor's and a master's degree. She was working in the gift shop, which is great, but she didn't need those degrees for that. So that's what Gen Z is looking for. They want something with flexibility. This is the side hustle generation. They're looking for ways that they can, the pandemic taught them that remote work is not something that's a perk. It's a way of life, and they like that. They want purpose-driven work. They want what they do to care, to have an impact. All right, that's what they're looking for. They want something that's going to contribute. They want fast ROI. Going to school 5-6 years, that's just not in their wheelhouse. For some kids it is. But for many of the kids, no, they're looking for something where they can get a return on their investment quick. And they're more concerned about skills rather than degrees. Right? They're thinking in terms of if I get skills that I can make a good living doing this. This is what I'm looking for. They're challenging that old narrative of everybody has to go to college to be successful. They're challenging that for the first time. And the other thing that's exciting about them too, this group of students has been labeled the tool belt generation. That's never happened before, and so that's pretty exciting to see. Mike Rowe, for America's Dirtiest Jobs, he always talks about, you've heard in the past blue collar and white collar. With white collar supposed to be a lot better. These are supposedly the college people that went to college and all this stuff, and then the blue collar are just the laborers. Well, not anymore. Now they're just collars, because blue collar can make just as much as white collar. So it all kind of goes hand in hand together. It's startling to think that 2.1 million skilled trade jobs will go unfilled by 2030. And guys, it's almost 2026. We're knocking on the door. All right. This is startling to think that it's the workforce is aging. You have people come out and work at your home and stuff. You can see what, the age of these people. I still remember having some concrete work done at my house. And with the exception of two people, everybody was over 60 years of age, and that's hard work. If you've ever worked concrete for, that's tough. Um, so it's, the demand is high, and jobs, and they're not like the dirty jobs, the filthy jobs. We often think of with an auto or diesel tech. I mean, look at the young lady there on the left there. You don't see grease all over or anything like that. She's working on a Cummins engine right there. So it's so much different than it used to be. 75%, this is kind of an interesting statistic. 75% of Gen Z kids put meaningful work ahead of a big salary. They want to contribute. They want to make sure that they're making an impact on society, what's taking place. We always talk about, oh gosh, it costs so much to go to school. One of the things that we are so excited about is our tuition reimbursement incentive program. I've talked to you about this a little bit in the past, but it continues to grow. We have over 8,000 trip employer locations nationwide. I mean, and the number keeps going up. I always tell people all the time when they're talking about this, why do dealerships, why do companies, why do they want to do this? Why do they want to give out these incentives? Well, think about it. If everybody's fishing in the same pond, you better have the best bait or you're not going to catch anything. And that's exactly what's happening with these people. These dealerships, they're offering package. Ray Katina up in New Jersey, they offer a package worth almost $60,000, to our graduates. We're talking about a tool allowance, a boot allowance. They have a sign-on bonus. And then they pay off their student loans. If the kids have any loans, they will pay those off. No, not in one lump sum. They do it incrementally because they don't want the students to leave, so they pay them monthly, but it gives us a chance to pay off so they can be debt free. And then they'll give them a tenure bonus at the end. So these packages are very lucrative. So there is a catch. They want students, they want employees that are willing to work. They're willing to show up for work. They're willing to put in time. But if you have those type of things, that's exactly what they're looking for. And so they're willing to pay for that to get the quality of employees that they're looking for. We offer over $15 million in grants and scholarships every year. But what's sad is we don't give half of it away. Maybe you've got the secret sauce on getting kids to to apply for scholarships. Please share that with me, because for some reason they don't want to do it. But we offer all types of scholarships, and of course, as Bob said, we've been with Imagine America Foundation now since, I believe, 1999, and we offer scholarships through their foundation as well too. So there are ways to fund education. My gosh, we even offer because we offer housing at our campuses. We have housing grants to help students to get started. We have relocation grants to help get them to school in the first place, because our campuses, while we have many, it may not be exactly where your students are at, so they can actually live there. The only exception is our Bloomfield campus, where we don't have housing there. It's more of a I guess a commuter campus right there, but still we offer all those things, so it's available. And then of course we help students get jobs while they're in school, to help pay some of their bills, so they can pay them as they go. And sometimes those work into careers if we get them into a dealership or an area like that. So we bridge the gap and watch them thrive. Sometimes it's one sentence that can open the door, and that's where you all are so important as educators. Expanding their post-secondary menu. For so long, we've given them the option, well, you go to college or you don't, and if you don't, you're not going to be successful. We know that's not true anymore. We know that's just not the case, that there are ways for them to be successful without going to college. And you as educators, you as the school counselors, you all are huge influencers. I don't know if you realize just what an impact you have on your students, but It's pretty amazing what the impact is. We need to validate options like the skilled trades, that they are. But you have to remember something else too. When a student comes to you and they think they want to be a welder, they want to be a plumber, that's not their plan B. And oftentimes that's what we've done with students. We'll say, well, your plan A is you're going to go to, Notre Dame, something like that. That's your plan A. But if that doesn't work out, well, then you can always be a welder because anybody can do that. No, not just anybody can do that. That's a skill. That takes a lot of work and a lot of practice. So, so the question that we need to be asking our students is, what do you want out of life? Where before we ask them what college you're going to, ask them what they want out of life. I always said all the time with when kids are little, what's the one question we ask every little kid? What do you want to be when you grow up? Why do we stop asking that question? Why don't we keep asking that? For those of you high school counselors, I hope you're asking that when they walk through your door. Hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? Of course, they're 16 or 17. They're like, feel like you just insulted them when you said that. But in reality, it's a fair question. What do they want out of life? What kind of a lifestyle do they want to achieve? Do they want to have a home? Do they want to have a car? So what are they going to have to do to achieve that? Well, they can very easily do that. I just had some work done with an HVAC guy just yesterday on my daughter's home. And he's 28 years old. He told me he bought his first home after he worked for 2 years. 28 years old. I'm sure he's probably making a six-figure income or very close to that, to do that kind of thing. And he loved what he did. You could just tell he was just so good at it, and a smile on his face. He's loving life. And so you have students like that too. You have to realize that, and you have to acknowledge what it is that they want, and you got to help make that possible. This picture is so funny because you see college, it shows the direction. Workforce and unsure, you don't see any arrows, do you? Okay, misinformation leads to missed opportunity. We've got to get these kids the proper information on what's out there. That's why we host counselor events at our campuses, so counselors can understand what it is that we do. They can see firsthand. You have to be careful. You come to one of my events, I'm going to put you on a welding simulator. I'm going to do something with you to show you what is available to you. Students are looking for different pathways. It's up to us as educators to show them what those pathways are. Not just a couple, but all of them. I get in arguments sometimes with the counselor. They'll say, I say I said, you call yourself an educator? And they say, well, yes, I absolutely do. So, well, I don't think so, because you're not exposing your students to everything that's available to them, only some things. It's very important that we do that. The counselors become unintentional gatekeepers. That's why I said before, you guys carry a lot of power that I don't think sometimes you even realize. Students really rely on you. They respect you and what you think and what you tell them. And so we have to do a service to all of our students. One of the things I always talk about, I have a lot of fun with it, but I always ask counselors, how many of you have college fairs? And they'll raise their hands. I go, not anymore, not after today. No, you don't get to. Now they're going to be career fairs, because when you say college fair, it takes out some of your students that don't want to go to college. They want to go this other route. So calling it a career fair. The other thing always tickles me because they say a college and career fair. Well, why are you going to college? Aren't you going to college to get a career? So why is it just a career fair? So anyway, I have fun with it, but it drives home the point that we're trying to get across here. We have to make sure that kids, you don't have to have all the answers, but you have to help them to find those answers. And that's one thing that we try to do at UTI. We try to equip you with that. So what UTI can do for your students? Of course, we have on-campus workshops where we actually come into your high schools. We do these STEM workshops. They're not UTI infomercials. We don't want that. We don't want to come in and say, oh, you got to come to our school. No, all of your students have different career pathways. We just want to show them what those pathways are. We want to show them what is available out there. For instance, if I say CNC, how many of you know what CNC is? Probably a few of you, but not very many. Okay, computer numerical control. That's a career. That's a career that can be achieved in 9 months, by the way. 9 months of training can be achieved for that. So, we have guest speakers that come in on our workshops sometimes to tell to we have like reps, or we have alumni come in. We offer field trips where you can come to UTI to see what we offer there. We come to your career fairs to help support you in what you do. We do student competitions. We have the all those different kind of things. Plus, we're involved in Skills USA. We're involved in FFA and all these other organizations. So we plug in where you need us. We the workshops, the field trips, all the support. We do that for you. Now, what UTI can do for you as school counselors? I said I'm here for you. Okay, first of all, I don't know if you know this or not, but we're an ASCA Alliance partner. In fact, we're the only post-secondary school in the country that's an ASCA Alliance partner. Very proud of that. And like the picture I showed you at the very beginning, that's me at an ASCA conference. I mean, that's what we do. All right. And we're heavily involved in school counselors, and not only at the national level, but also at the state and local levels. We do professional development. I've opened up many school districts. My colleague, Ashley Gastel, who I hired a year ago, the best hire I ever made. I'm going to tell you right now, she is amazing. And she was a career counselor for 5 years. So we do professional development for school districts that they needed. We do meeting sponsorships. If you're going to get together with your group, hey, we'll help sponsor. We're glad to do that. We offer tools and resources to help you any way we possibly can. Remember, we want to partner with you. And one of the things I'm really excited about is our new chatbot, Spark. So you get to meet Spark. And it's pretty cool here. I have to give Ashley kudos for this because she's the one that kind of drives this. I've got it playing right now for you while you're listening, but you can see over here what we wanted. We had a counselor tell us once it took 17 clicks to find out how much UTI's tuition was. So that's unacceptable. Our websites, many websites are so convoluted. So what we do now is we have Spark. It's available anytime, anywhere. You have a student, like it right says, where's UTI located? Okay, and it comes up. It tells us where all the campuses are. And then you can find more information as you delve deeper into Spark. But it's a tool for you. It's not for us, it's for you. We developed this for you. So if you have a student sitting in your office and they say, hey, how much is tuition at UTI? Well, let's ask Spark, and Spark will tell you how much it is. We don't want to hide anything. We want to put it up front. It's easy to use. It's text-based. There's no downloads, no apps. It's just quick conversation away is all it is. And I'm going to show you how to get opted in. But it's built for counselors. It keeps you in the driver's seat so you can get the information you need for your students. But you can also access and say, hey, we'd love to have a workshop. Who do I contact? Spark will tell you how to do that. So anyway, get ready, get your cameras ready, because right here, this is the QR code. So all you have to do is snap a picture of this, opt in. You must opt in order to be able to use this, because we don't want any scams or anything like that. You opt in. That way you can use Spark anytime you want. It's free. There's no charge whatsoever. As I said before, it is a tool for you to use. So please do that. And make me look good in front of Ashley, because she'll be checking for the opt-ins to make sure we're getting all these. But we're building this database from scratch. So anyway, we're really excited about it, as you can tell from my voice. We think it's going to be a game changer for you as school counselors. Just another way to make it easier for you to serve your students. We also stay connected in other ways. We have all of our social media, Facebook, our Instagram accounts. I have my own Instagram account, by the way, Coyle 2793. Please, if you follow me, I'll follow you back. I promise I will do that. But we just, as I said before, what our goal is to partner with you any way we possibly can. That's very important to us, to give you the support that you need. So many schools are all about gimme, gimme, gimme. We want to give to you. We want to make your job easier. So thank you so much. One last little tidbit, you can have all the money in the world, you can have all the material items you want in the world, but you've really made it when you have your own QR code. So there's my QR code. So please feel free to snap a picture of that as well. That's got all of my contact information, including my Instagram account on there. Please feel free to reach back to me if you have any questions or comments, anything you'd like to know more about UTI. Please feel free to reach out to me. and I can help you, or just ask Spark. Thank you so much. I hope you have a, a, a good day at school and wish you well for your school year. Thank you so much.
Great job, Stephen. Thank you. I'm particularly impressed with that new chat box because I think at least one, maybe two of the questions are follow-ups to that. What you put on or what was put in the original chat box. First question, FAFSA. You talked about FAFSA in that chat box, but tell us. They want to know a little bit more about your admissions counselors and what kind of counseling and guidance they can provide to potential students for filling out and completing the FAFSA.
Okay, yes, we are Title IV funded, so we do accept the FAFSA, so that, to provide financial aid to those who qualify. And so they do have to fill out FAFSA. We can help them. Our students all have financial aid advisors that work specifically with them and their family to put together the best package for them to make school as affordable as possible. And so you can, you as school counselors can reach out. Like I said, you can go through Spark if that's easier for you. And you can ask Spark, and then it will direct you to where you need to go. But if for some reason, because Spark doesn't know everything, it's still learning. So if you can't find something you want, please reach out to me, and I can get you more information about our financial aid opportunities.
This is not Chatbot, but this refers back to your presentation where you talk about housing grants or housing assistance. You have most of your campuses are destination campuses, so you have housing assistance available through the admissions process for students that are looking to relocate, correct?
Absolutely, yes, except for Bloomfield. That's the only campuses that does not, but all the other campuses do. And yeah, and we help. We place it. We don't do dorms. They're apartments, but they're our apartments. They're leased by us, and
Right.
then they're only that are in there. And everybody has their own individual lease. It's a furnished apartment. The lease matches your program. So if your program's a year, your lease is a year. If your program's 6 months, your lease is 6 months. And if somebody moves out for some reason, you're not stuck with their bill. You have your own lease. You don't have anybody else.
Now, this gets back to the chat box, and this will be our last question. You put in the original chat box and you shot right over it really quick. How does the UTI programs, how do they compare with a local community college or technical school that these counselors may be familiar with? You had it in the bot, but it went pretty quickly. Can you restate that real quick?
Yeah, I know that it has to go quick because we don't have a lot of time. But yeah, I get that question all the time. And so we are a college, yes, but we're not a community college. Now, there's nothing wrong with community colleges. They serve a purpose. The difference is there's several, but really specifically a couple is that number one, you won't take gen eds at UTI. We're a true STEM school, so all of our programs are integrated. Our STEM is integrated into the curriculum. So you won't take algebra per se, but you're going to get algebra into some of the coursework and geometry, which you're going to need, those kind of things. So they don't take gen ed classes. That's number one. Number two, generally our programs are shorter. Our programs average about a year in length. Community colleges, you're looking at 2 years, sometimes even more than that. Our programs are on average a year in length, and we go straight through. We don't take spring breaks. We don't take summers off. They go straight through and they get right into their program. And number three, I think this is a huge one, is the manufacturer specific training. Someone wants to be a Porsche tech. I was just at the Porsche training facility in Atlanta, Georgia this last summer, and 95% of the students in there were UTI students because, as they said, we want the top quality students that we can get. And so they tend not to get those out of community college. They get them from us. So that's very important too.
Hey, thanks for the clarification. It seems like two of the three related right back to your chat box. Not that you didn't have it in the chat box, but that we went through it pretty quickly. Hey, once again, counselors, we want to thank you for all that you do to support your students. We invite you to explore our new portal, connect with Universal Technical Institute, and share these opportunities with your students. Visit www.imagine-america.org to learn more about the Imagine America Foundation. Please feel free to reach out to the foundation or to Dr. Coyle through his new I forgot what it's, and you get
Spark.
more information.
Spark.
Pardon me?
Spark. Reach out through
Yes,
Spark.
thank you. Thank you. Together, we can help students build very, very bright futures. On behalf of the Imagine America Foundation, Dr. Coyle and Warren Cunningham, our Director of Operations at the Foundation, thank you for joining us today. We hope you have a great day. Goodbye.